What's for dinner are 3 words that can break you at the end of a very mentally exhausting day as a parent. But in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my secrets on how I successfully meal plan, not just for a week, but an entire month. So if you want to know my tips and tricks, stay tuned for today's video. Give it a big thumbs up because it really does support my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that bell so you get notified when we upload on Mondays and Thursdays. So let's parent with a plan. When you think about creating a whole month's worth of dinners, it can be so overwhelming because that is a lot of dinners to be thinking of. And especially when you are taking into consideration the taste buds of your kids, what you and your husband may like to eat, it can be really tricky to try and please everyone. However, I have 3 simple steps that will help you to create this meal plan with ease. Step 1 is to brainstorm. This means getting a blank piece of paper and writing down all the dinners that you know you enjoy cooking, that your family will enjoy eating, and you could even categorize it into themes. So for this month, trying to figure out what my basis of meal planning was going to be around, I thought of 4 dinners that would be meat-free. I thought of 4 dinners that were like a Mexican theme, and I also wanted to think about some dinner ideas that Mick enjoys cooking out on the barbecue, or they could be dinners that take just a little bit longer, and so having them on the weekend would help because Mick would be able to look after the kids. So even just having this sort of brainstorming session really helps you to plan out kind of like the foundation of your meal plan. This leads to the next step of actually writing it down and starting to meal plan. So if you haven't got a template to do a monthly meal plan, feel free to go into the description box below and you can head over to our website and download a pack that has not only the monthly meal plan but a weekly meal plan and a shopping list. For me, I would then print off my template and I would write down all the meals that I've so far brainstormed and try to figure out where I would put them throughout the week. This means I have something that looks similar to this where I'm starting to flesh out my month and things are starting to become less overwhelming. Now that I've brainstormed and put that first round of meals onto my monthly meal plan, this leads me to step number 2, and that is to categorize. Categorizing your dinners allows you to figure out how you're going to fill in the rest of your month. Now remember, you're only having to think of 4 dishes in each category. If you were doing a Mexican themed night, then you're only having to think of 4 dinners. So that could be nachos, quesadillas, burritos, and enchiladas. Done. When you break it down into these steps, it makes it more manageable to try and figure out how you're going to fill an entire month. When I break it down into categories, I'm making sure that every week has a dish that has beef, pork, lamb, fish, chicken, a meat-free dish, and then I have a night off that's our special family dinner where we either get takeout or we go out to eat. Finding recipes can be exhausting and it can be draining. When you do find a recipe that is a hit for your family, I highly recommend printing it off and keeping it in some sort of record. Here in our house, I have printed off all our recipes and put a bit of a cover sheet on them. I go through my family classics and I pick a dish out from there. Otherwise, if I'm wanting something fresh, I do go online and I have a look on the internet, or I might search through a cookbook, and that is how I fill in those gaps. Now that I'm happy with how things are looking, I'm going to put it onto my meal planner and I color code it because I like to visually see how my proteins are working out and making sure that I'm not really doubling up on anything too close together, because here in our household we like to get the most out of this meal plan, and we have found out that we can rotate through this month for 3 whole months, which means we can do a seasonal monthly meal planner for our dinners. Now my meal planner looks something like this. One helpful hint when you are fine tuning, which is step number 3, is making sure that your week 4 dinner ideas don't clash with your week 1 dinner ideas, because you will be rotating through. But when you look at it just 1, 2, 3, 4, you might think it looks great. However, I have discovered that I've got meatloaf both in week 1 and week 4, so I'm probably going to switch my week 4 meatloaf into week 3. I know that this might not bug some people. For our little family, trying to get the longevity out of putting in so much work and effort, I do try and space it out a little bit so we don't get sick of the meals. The other tip that is really helpful to keep in the back of your mind when planning all of this is if you make a meal and it is a complete flop, whether the kids didn't like it, it took too much time, or cost too much money, then don't do it. Just like in shopping, either love it or don't buy it. You don't want to have a recipe in your monthly meal rotation that is going to cause you any stress at the end of the day or any fights with your kids because they don't enjoy eating that dish. It is absolutely not worth it, and it's so easy to just replace it with an alternative dish when you cycle through the next time. Now that you've planned your entire month worth of meals, which can be a seasonal rotation, it means when you go shopping for that week, it is so easy because you can write down the dishes that you are going to be cooking throughout that week and then the ingredients that you need. If you need a template, once again, you can head over and download our free one. For our family, I've customized it for the shops that we go to and the way in which the shop is set out. So as I walk into Aldi, it's fruit and veg first, protein and cold things, and then aisle products. And so that's how I've created my template so that I can get through my shopping as quickly as possible. If you've reached this part of the video and you're saying to me, Beck, this is just way too hard. It's a great idea. I would love to do it, but I just don't have the mental capacity to figure it all out, and it's too much, even though I would love to do it. I have a solution for you. Work it backwards. Start small, which means this week coming up, plan your week of dinners. Either go by proteins or themes or family favorites, whatever you want to do. Create 1 week worth of meals. Once you've successfully figured out what your first week of meals are, I recommend that you put it on your monthly planner, and then the next week, do the process again. This way, you will gradually create a whole month worth of dinners without even having to put that much effort into it, because you're gonna have to do it anyway. This is actually the process that I use to create my summer monthly rotation, because we had a newborn at that stage and I couldn't sit down and try and figure out a whole month's worth. Once we did each week at a time and I had completed 4 meals, I wrote it on this piece of paper that's laminated, so that way if there were any meals that were a bit of a flop, I could just rub out the whiteboard, and then I had an entire monthly planner that we then continued to repeat for the next 2 months. This document I am going to put in a very safe spot because it is my monthly plan for all of my summer dishes. So they're light, they're fresh, they're quick and fast, because obviously I had a newborn at that time. And so now that I've put in the hard work of trying to figure out what that month looked like, I am now going to enjoy being stress-free the next time I use that rotation. I feel like once I've created all 4 seasons of summer, autumn, winter, and spring, I will be laughing with so much happiness at how easy it's going to be to rotate through this on a yearly basis. And I know people may be thinking, oh, that's gross, you're eating the same meals all the time, or won't you get bored with that, or whatever you might be thinking. But in reality, if you're doing a monthly meal plan for 3 months, I'm only going to be eating the same dish 3 times. And if I'm making sure that for every season my monthly meal plan has a whole new set of dishes, then realistically I'm only eating the same dish 3 times in a year. So that's really not a lot of times that I'll be eating that. If you have liked today's video and it has inspired you, motivated you, and just helped you to figure out the process of creating a monthly meal plan, then please give this video a big thumbs up. It really does support my channel. If you want to download our PDFs for monthly meal plans, shopping lists, and weekly planners, then feel free to go into the description box, expand it, and find our website. You can head over there and download that free PDF pack. I really hope it does help you in the process of doing this. It is a lot of work, but honestly, once it's set up, you forget it and it's so stress-free and it's absolutely worth it. But if you have liked watching today's video, please give it a big thumbs up because it really does support my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that bell to get notified because this parenting gig doesn't come with a rule book, we only have each other. And I'll see you in my next video.